Okay, this video will be to help with interpreting change in exponential models, changing units, and this will be the last one you have to do before your exponential models unit test by Wednesday. Interpreting change in exponential models, changing units. And I'm just going to go over 4 questions with you. So yeah, we have that the relationship between the elapsed time in T years since the Ice Age began and the total number of animal species S year of T is modeled by the following function. So here it's telling me that my function is changing every T years. So my function is given in years. And it has 25 million times 0.78 to the T. And it wants me to change it to find out what my factor will be for every decade. So notice that my factor is 0.78 for every 1 year. So for decade, what I have to do is raise that factor of 0.78 to the 10, because I'm trying to do that 10 times. If it's 0.78 every 1 year, so I have to raise it by 0.78 to the 10 to find out how much that would be for a decade. And it wants my answer for 2 decimal places. So I'm going to stop right here at 0.08, sorry. And I'm leaving at 0.08 because the number after the 8 is less than 5. If it's greater than 5, I would have to round up. If it's 5 or more, you have to round up. So 0.08 will be my answer. And now I'm doing another question. Yeah, we have the function, and it's telling me the function is giving me for decades, T in decades, and my factor is 1.06 every decade, and it wants it for every year. So I need 1/10 of a decade. 1 year is 1/10, right? So I'm going less, so I'm going to raise it to the fraction, okay? So I'm going to raise 1 point. So notice the difference from going from decade to years and year to decade. For year to decade, you're increasing, so you're going to raise it to the 10th power. For decade to year, you're decreasing, so you want to raise it to the 1/10, okay? So I'm raising this to the 1/10. And if you don't understand, you can always use your hands or watch a video. So in my calculator, I'm going to put 1.06, and I'm going to click here, XY, raise it to the 1/10. So I'm going to put parentheses, 1 divided by 10, close parentheses, 0.1. So 1.06 raised to the 0.1, and that gives me 1.0058. They say round your answer to 4 decimal places. So that'll be 1.00, and it told me 58. And I'm gonna leave it as just 8 because the number after the 8 is 4 is less than 5, so I don't have to round up. So that'll be my answer. And here you can see the step-by-step solution that they will give. If you don't have a calculator or your calculator app is not working or something, you can always click right here. You have to click the marker now. You can click right here and show calculator and use this, okay? If 1.06, and I want to raise it, and in parentheses, I'll put 1 divided by 10, 1/10. And remember, they want it in 4 decimal places. So you can always use the calculator if you're using your computer. I don't see the calculator when I'm using the phone app, but if you're using your if you're doing it on your computer, you should be able to. All right, so here we have, it gives me every second. It's changing by a factor of 15/16 every second, and it wants me to change it to every minute, find out the factor for every minute. So 60 seconds make 1 minute. So I'm increasing, so I'm gonna raise that 15/16 to 60, raise it to the 60th power. So I'm gonna do 15/16 raised to the 60th power and find out what that is for my factor. So that's what I'm gonna put here. 15 divided by 16. And I'm gonna raise that to the 60th. And gives me 0.0208. And it wants my answer in 2 decimal places. So that'll just be this right here, 0.0 up to here, 0.02. Remember, I'm just gonna keep it at 0.02 because the number after it is not greater than, it's not 5 or more. So I don't have to round up. Next question. Okay, so what's going on is it's telling me something's wrong. It said try again. So I'm going from seconds to minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. I should put 0.02. I put 0.20. So I'm gonna go again and do one more because I wanted to do 4 problems. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more problem with you. And here we're going from minute to hour. It told me that the time is in every minute. My factor is 0.96 and I need to change it to hour. So I'm gonna do 0.60 minutes make an hour. So I have to raise it to 60. So I'm gonna do 0.96 and raise that to the 60th power to find my answer by what factor is changing. So I'm gonna do 0.96. Remember, for change, I'm just worried about this part right here. So I'm gonna do 0.96. Raise that to the 60th, and that gives me 0.086, all of that. And then once it's to 2 decimal places, so that'll be 0.0, and the number after the 8 is greater than 5, is 6. 6 is greater than 5, so I have to round up. So instead of 0.08, I'll have to put 0.09. So 0.09. Check my answer. I hope that was of some help to you. Good luck.